If you're watching this, you and I both know that God wants the best and expects the best for our very lives that He's created for us. You and I both know that just as much as you want to live a life of peace, of joy, of abundance, of prosperity, so does God wants the same thing for you. But I come to realization, and I come to realization in my life, is that we allow our decision making to become our downfall. And it ends up getting us into a pattern. It ends up getting us into unhealthy habits and cycles that can sometimes be uneasy to break. Because when you're a part of a cycle, it's so easy to continue to spin around the hamster wheel. But eventually, you spin around in the hamster wheel for so long, it's going to burn you out. It's going to do nothing but drain you and tire you. And I've come to realization that even for me this year, is that every opportunity, every second, I can't waste. And that it is by God's grace that I take advantage of it. Every opportunity, every situation that God has presented before me. Because the complacency, the laziness, the fear has blocked me from entering certain blessings, has blocked me from entering certain paths or certain doors, and it's kept me stagnant. And I see that's what the enemy wants me. He wants me to remain stagnant. He wants many of you to remain in a cycle of stagnation. But just like I said, just as much as you want the peace, the love, the joy, the abundance, the favor, the blessings over your life, God wants it just as much as you do for yourself. But the thing is, like I said, it's our decision making. The reason I'm saying all this is because I was just studying Proverbs 19 today. And Proverbs 19 was literally on point. Proverbs 19:3 says, people ruin their lives by their own foolishness and then are angry at the Lord. There's so many people out here that because of the decision making and because of the decision making, those end up bleeding out results that are not, designed or that are not God-led, and then they end up blaming the Lord. They end up blaming the Lord where they're at. They end up blaming the Lord while they're continuously stuck in this type of situation, not knowing that they are the reason behind why they're stuck in that situation. Like the saying says, you could take a horse to water, but you can't make him drink it. Meaning that God can lead you to where you need to be. He can put you at the right place, the right time. He can give you all the resources. He can point you to the right spaces. But like God said, faith without works is dead. And just as He meets us one way, He expects us to meet Him the other halfway. God is not going to do all the work for you. God is not even a God that even rolls like that. But He's a God that's going to make sure that you get off your butt and you apply the knowledge you apply from the lessons that you learned in the past on to this new test. It's either you're going to repeat the same cycles and go start all over again, or you're either going to pass the test and move on forward. The choice is yours. And the only person that you can blame at the end of the day is yourself. Because God has given us, yes, He's given us, the opportunities to be led down the path that He wants us to be on. But at the end of the day, we still have free will. We all still have a choice. We all still have to decide and make a decision. And that decision can either make it go left or it can make it go right. What we don't realize is that our lives will start to look like a mirrored reflection of the decisions that we made. And sometimes because of that rebellion and disobedience, and because of it being our mirror reflection, it sometimes has to take for that reflection to reflect back on you, to show you where you went wrong. And that's the thing we hate. We hate looking at ourselves in the mirror. We hate having to realize that we are the problem in certain situations. That it wasn't that person that you felt like stirred you off course. It wasn't, this, it wasn't that. At some point, we have to start taking accountability for the way our lives are. And what you put into the world is what you're going to get out of it. So if you're reaping nothing but bad and reaping nothing but chaos and dysfunction and all kinds of negativity, that's what you're going to sow. That's what you're going to get back out. But if you reap goodness, if you reap love, if you reap, joy, if you reap kindness, if you reap all the things that are, of godly characteristics, you are going to sow good ground and good seed over your life, and your life will be harvestful, it will be fruitful. So the lesson is today is stop blaming God for where you are and start taking accountability for why you are put in that situation in the first place. Because if you deeply reflect, you will start to realize that there were times where God was trying to reroute you, but because the flesh is more stronger than the spirit, because of your lack of dying to self, you decide to go away that God allowed you to go on, but he allowed you to bump your head in the end, because God is still graceful, he's still merciful. He won't allow you to go too far to the point where you'll enter death, but he'll allow you to get so far to the point where you're going to learn the lesson that is necessary, so you won't have to repeat the same mistake over and over again like you did the past few seasons. So take where you are as a lesson. Take where you are as that you're not there for no reason, but that God has you there for a reason and for a season. Pass the test and move forward, and let every decision be a decision that God is choosing for you and not you choosing for yourself. Oh yeah, one more verse, Proverbs 19:21. You can make many plans, but the Lord's purpose will prevail. Regardless of where you're going, regardless of you trying to go your own way, the Lord's will be fulfilled. The Lord's plan shall be fulfilled, regardless of whatever you go. Because either with you or without you, God is going to fulfill everything that he's spoken, everything he's promised. So it's either you get on board or things are going to move on along without you. I hope you understand this. I hope you intake everything that I'm saying tonight, because I know I needed it. God bless.